And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here.
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did you
Chris
think
likes
of
Cass?
I like
What have you
Ibs was a little pretentious.
Abs was
And
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. Just sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong. Sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
The person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Death
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack
now.
him across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first one to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Indigo Connect, and hey, do you wonder?
No.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello, 12 with 10 cents. Hello, Grim. Welcome. It is Tuesday night. It is time for a little Dungeons and Dragons here on Indigo Chameleon. Hope everybody got a good money. Woo! Hopefully everybody is having a good night. We, like I said before in those announcements, we have a cool Discord where you can hang out in the Discord. Hello, Indigo Gma, where you can hang out in the Discord and ask questions of any of the players and DMs and things of that sort. We also have a merch store where you can buy the latest awesome merch that has like jackets and shirts and coffee mugs and prints and stickers and all sorts of stuff. So, and it helps us keep the lights on. So, because it rocks our logo. So, in terms of schedule for this week, we oh, you can't see us?
We're good because I got a couple computers up.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
might be an internet thing. 12 for 10 cents.
It also might be a mobile thing if you're looking on the phone.
It's working
Yeah, it doesn't always work with Samsungs if you're looking on a Samsung.
Oh yeah, I think we're okay. I think everybody else can see us okay. Yeah, but let us know if you can't see us or hear us. We've got a couple of. We can test it out. Magna, thank you for subscribing. 11 months in a row.
Okay.
Turkey Terror, best name ever. That's fantastic. Yeah, so we've got upcoming shows this week. Tomorrow night, we are going to do the final episode in our one-shot arc that turned into a 3-part one-shot. I don't know. I'm bad at math.
It's a 3-shot.
It's a 3-shot, 1-shot, 2-shot, 4-shot. So
1-shot, 2-shot, red shot, blue shot.
there you go, much better. So tune in for that as we see what happened with the Archimedes 5. And that is tomorrow night. On Thursday, we go back to the Lost Isle. And when I say back to the Lost Isle, because we skipped a week. It was birthday goodness, and so we were able to skip a week out of the kindness of their hearts, and we go back to New York City for some shenanigans there. What's up, Grouch Couch? Hi. The names in chat tonight are making me so happy. So it was you 12 for 10 cents. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That was on Thursday night. On Friday, we go back to Neverland as the group begins a mission with their good buddy as they head to the Bazaar and travel beneath the Bazaar. And you can watch as their new friend Meeks is there and will be able to assist them in their adventure to track down a wild animal that has been taken over by the mother mimic. Dude, no. I'm familiar. Welcome. We're not hating on it. It's a great name. That's why I'm saying that the name game in the chat tonight is super strong. And that's on Friday night, and then we'll take us back around to Tuesday. And who knows? If you stay tuned to the Discord, there might be some fun, interesting pop-up streams that we do, probably involving Indigo Chameleon and I and a can of peaches. As we homebrew items. So, yeah. But I think that's it in terms of announcements. There's a small cat that's climbing the wall right to our right. I'm so tempted to just shoot the camera over, but I'm not going to. Once upon a time in Wonderland, our group of heroes fought a battle, a pretty hard-fought battle between a beholder and a captain of the guard. A captain of the guard that was trying to bring the heroes in, bringing Nyx in and setting an ultimatum for the group. That's great, Indigo Gmod. The group listened very intently to the offers laid forth by the captain of the guard and politely declined in a way that only they can do. So after politely declining the offer, they hard fought their way through this battle and were able to make it out of the other side okay, just as the rain began to pour. Thoe caught up with the group, and she has a brand new passenger as she's looking a little beat up, a little tossed and turned, and she has a ice blue leg that, as Mandrake made some disparaging comments against Mab, the Queen of Air and Darkness, Mab was able to hear said comments and manifested herself into the space. Coming out...
I made a statement of fact.
You definitely made a statement That's not. Huh. But now we find our heroes alongside a road as it is beginning to pour down, raining all around them. Some of them beaten down to within a few hit points of an uncomfortable place on their sheet. And making the winding path. So all of that being said, now I gotta catch it. All of that being said, heroes, where are you headed this evening?
Olo and Nyx know the way to get there, so we'll be relying on them for guidance.
I believe we discussed going to Sedrain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's perilous travels. Since all of you are walking alongside the road and stuff like that, I am going to need somebody to give me a survival check, just to navigate through the issues of the ice cold rain that has kind of come out of nowhere and is pelting all of you. So who's taking the lead on this one?
Is anybody good at survival?
I got a plus
Could
4 to
I-
survival. Could I counteroffer perception?
Yes.
You would perceive that survival is a key skill when navigating the other continent.
Okay, so question.
Well.
Last week, Just FML gave me a +5 that I never used. I have a +2 to survival, which isn't great.
I would give you a +7 roll to survival.
Make that a +12 from Flash of Genius with a +5 on.
Ooh.
You're gonna make a D20 roll and add a +12 to it.
Just so good at
It's a
surviving,
good
guys.
thing because I rolled a 3.
So a 15 total.
Just okay.
There we go. Yeah. The group under Thoe's guidance, sheer bravery and intelligence in the face of danger. Thoe is able to lead the group alongside the dusty road, which is quickly becoming muddy as time passes. So as you begin to circumnavigate, you manage to keep everybody on the road as the rain begins to fall.
It doesn't look like I'm doing very well, but somehow I stumble into the right stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a bunch of monkeys typing on typewriters. Like the chances are somebody's going to type out Hamlet. Like she manages to get there. However, I will say this: I need everybody to go ahead and give me perception checks as you begin to travel on throughout the day. 6 total.
Oh my God. 20, not nat.
Ah, that's better.
There it is.
24.
10.
24.
24.
Oh, I don't see stuff.
Trovic.
18.
18. So I'd say Edgar, Trovic, and Mandrake. All of you would notice during your time walking alongside the road, the amount of foot traffic heading towards the town. Various vehicles of different makes and sizes finding their way forward and pushing their way forward. I would say those of you, the three that got the highest, I think it was Edgar, Trovic, and Mandrake. You would notice everyone else just kind of sees it as the splash of water hits and everyone gets a little caked with mud. However, you all would notice the state of these vehicles, even the pouring down rain, of a more affluent nature. Some of the carriages are pulled by horses, but all of them have a bit of filigree associated with them. Gold filigree around the carriage, unique creatures pulling the wagons down the road. You see one carriage in particular, which looks to be hovering above the ground, pulled by nothing at all, which doesn't displace any water or mud in your direction, as it continues to travel forward down the road. So all of you become aware of the amount of traffic that has suddenly picked up around you all.
What's our marching order?
It's a great question.
Well, if Zoe's up front, then I'm pretty sure that Edgar would be somewhat close right next to her, maybe second, or perhaps third.
You're probably fourth, because I think that Olo and Nyx were probably second and third, since we know where we're going.
I'll stick to the back. Me and Humphrey.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be towards the back too. I would try to move forward a little bit and ask Nyx, this town that we're heading into.
Yes.
Is it a capital?
No, it's just mining, pretty much. I didn't really go there, so, but it's pretty average from what I know, unless something's changed in the past 6 years.
These vehicles that are passing us, they are not average.
Okay, I mean, we are heading in the direction of the capital, so maybe they're just passing through.
Are they moving hurriedly like they're moving from something? Or are they moving like at a leisurely, normal pace like they're probably moving to something? Like we're going to a party or we're fleeing for our lives.
I never thought I'd say this. Give me an insight check on the carriages?
Ooh, okay, that was an 18.
I was about to ask if I could assist, but if you've got an 18.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Yeah, you can't really assist on an insight check.
If I'm conferring with her.
You could confer.
If they're not moving away from something, they could be moving towards something like a coronation.
There you go. So it doesn't. From the careful body language of some of the cards, you are able to discern that they don't look as if they are fleeing anything. Like it's nothing that looks like they're chasing them. And actually, I'll say this: Thoe and Trovik, you guys take a couple of seconds to catch up and sort of look behind you and scan the horizon. And there doesn't seem to be any large like Tarrasque running down the road after. But you take a second to look and double check. They do seem to be in a hurry, but it doesn't look like they're hurrying away from something, almost as if they just don't want to be in the odd storm that has come out of nowhere.
So faces are happy looking and not terrified looking.
The only faces you are able to see are those of the occasional driver. Many of the carriages that have people bound inside of them are closed off to protect them from the weather, or many are going so fast that you're catching fleeting glances of different individuals that are moving about.
I still haven't
Do the
gotten any of
carriages-
my magic stuff yet back. Have I?
Your items?
We've not had any rests.
Yes, you have received your items back. Yes.
Does it look like the carriages are from Overland, or do they look foreign, like they're coming to see something?
This I will request a perception check, because I love the idea of you guys in the pouring rain being like, what do you guys think of the wagons? Like
16?
16. Some of them definitely look like they're from Overland. Some of them look like they're from parts unknown.
That floating carriage is definitely from Fosh.
Trovik immediately as the floating carriage goes by. This is a representative from Fosh. Like there is no denying this. There is no trying to confirm it with anyone else. So they look like they're from different areas of the continent, and are making their way forward.
So it seems like they're headed to something.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's what I say.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. I'm glad for your perception, but telling us that they're going somewhere, because all carriages out in the middle of nowhere ought to be going somewhere.
I mean, they all seem to be heading to something. I mean,
were I to guess, I would say that they're heading toward the kingdom for their, the fake prince, then? Possible coronation and ascension to the throne?
Could be.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on some of these drivers. And what I can do is, because it lasts for a minute, as an action, I can shift my attention to another creature's thought as long as they are within 30 feet. So, like, I'm going to spend a minute trying to pick up on kind of their thoughts and their intent and where they're going and what they're doing.
Okay. I like this. So I'm going to reward it past the go like because my initial instinct is like.
And honestly, if I need to, I'll probe deeper, because honestly, they're going. It's not like they're probably going to stop and be like,
right.
Yeah.
I would say there's two carriages that are somewhat close to one another, and as you prepare yourself, you brace yourself on the side of the road, and outstretch a hand. Go ahead and roll for wild magic for me.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Nope, I'm good.
Okay. And you probe the thoughts of the first driver, who looks to be an ornate silver carriage that is pulled by two rather large-looking like horses, but they look like Clydesdales. Okay. They're definitely kind of like war horses or something along those lines. Initial thought is along the lines of mustn't be late. There's a worry of physical harm.
Oh, like if they're late?
Like if they're late, there's a worry of physical harm put upon them. And they don't want that to happen. And there's a instinctive look down, which translates into crap, I hope I have the paper.
Okay.
And that's the first carriage.
Okay.
As the second carriage goes by, I'm going to give you, like, it lasts a minute.
Okay.
So the second carriage that goes by kind of has similar, like, don't want to be late, gotta go. This is a female driver pushing this one. She's a little bit bigger than the other driver. It looks to be like she's, they cut corners, and instead of hiring a bodyguard and a driver, they were just like, you can drive a carriage. So she's pushing this carriage. The only other new thing that you glean from her is, God, how do I want to go? There's a fear of Nyx. You would pick up the surface thoughts there,
Like
and
they've seen
it's a fear of the ruling king of the land, but it's an undercurrent of it.
Okay. So I convey this to everybody, and I have one more question, but you're probably not going to like it.
Okay.
Okay, when I convey this to everybody, I'm going to say, I have an idea. We can get more information, but you got to trust me on this. Is my leg removable?
Is your leg removable?
Like my prosthetic. Is it removable? Can I take it off? Because I want to take it off and hand it to somebody.
Okay, hang on. Yes, your leg.
Okay, I take off my leg, I hand it to Edgar, and then, okay, so I've got two things I want to do, one right after the other. I want to misty step to like the edge of the road, but where they're gonna see me and stop.
Okay.
And then as soon as I've misty stepped to there, I'm misty stepping myself into a prone position, and I'm casting, oh crap, I can't, because I can't maintain that illusion. Darn it. No, I was thinking I was gonna do a minor illusion of a bandage over my leg that's all bloody and stuff. But could I maintain that illusion as I'm moving around, or it's really got to be a
You're
steady
trying to
illusion?
get a carriage to stop.
Yeah, I want to stop. I want to get more information.
By being the legless fairy
Yes.
laying
Well,
in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm injured.
All right.
Ow.
I love this idea. I will support it. It is raining.
Cool.
It
I
is
guess I need to go more into the road.
muddy.
Yeah, I might get run over.
I'm going to
willing to
give this
risk
a 50-50 shot.
Okay.
That when you go like, got him, like that thing just keeps going forward.
I got like 60-something points left. How much damage can a carriage do?
You did tell us what's happening, right?
Yeah. No, I say I have an idea. Trust me. I didn't tell you everything I was doing.
Okay, cool.
I
Never
probably
mind
didn't
then.
have time.
She goes,
Go do.
I have an idea. Trust me. I'm gonna need that guy's leg. Like she takes the leg out.
Okay, cool.
Edgar, give me a wisdom saving throw. As Chloe is,
You did this to me. This is going to be a 12.
12. Edgar,
Don't.
I'm gonna send you a private message. 12 for 10 cents.
Oh.
Felt like that was in the road. Backs the carriage. Wait, what was that? Edgar, buddy, I'm gonna send you a message of the little voice that you hear in your head.
We're all doomed. It's been nice playing with everyone. Goodbye.
Bowie, give me a deception check as you're going to choose the next carriage to come down the road.
Okay, that was a 4 on the die, but I have a +10, and I'm gonna use Wolf's +5 that he gave me. So that 4 just turned into a 19. Thank you, Wolf.
Okay.
Could I also throw a minor illusion to assist? I mean, I don't know what she's doing, so probably not. Never mind.
You have no.
Trust me.
None. Okay, I tried. I'm really sorry. I wish you had shared.
Yeah. I need a yes or a no, Edgar.
Oh no.
Is
15.
Yes. Yep. 100%. Yes.
Okay. The leg. Who's got a passive perception of 16 or above?
I do, I'm sure. Hold on. I think it's like really, really high. Passive perception of 20.
Edgar's holding. I can't believe that I'm saying this. Edgar is holding Thoe's prosthetic leg, which flares a tiny little bit as some of the rain around it freezes. And Edgar looks a little cold as he himself looks like his skin goes a little pale, but then returns its color. But you see this for a brief moment. Thoe, 19 on your deception check.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I got good news and I have bad news.
Hit me with the bad news.
Well, he's gonna.
I'm gonna make so the carriage doesn't stop
Okay.
at first.
Okay.
I think this thing is gonna go over you.
Okay.
However, after it feels the solid ba-boom,
Oh, good. We gotta be close to a long rest by this point, right?
Sure.
This could have been a lot worse.
Okay.
You take 14 points of bludgeoning
Oh.
damage.
Wow.
As the carriage rolls over you at full speed, and then you see the driver of this carriage slow the carriage down, and immediately get down. It's a halfling who hurries over to where you are and goes, Mistress, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you in the road. Are you all right?
Sort of.
Oh dear. Is there anything that I can do to assist you? We really must be on our way, and...
Oh, well, I mean, where are you going to in such a hurry? Ow.
I mean, ow. All right. Let's do another.
I can't.
Let's do another persuasion check at advantage because you said "ow," and he did just hit you with his.
It's true.
What's
One
a
of those
really
was
big
nat
ouch?
20, the other was a 2.
Nat 20 and a 2.
If it's persuasion, then it's technically. Oh, I'm good at persuasion. It's a 30.
He goes, we're technically headed to the governor's mansion. There's a dinner party this evening.
Oh, I haven't eaten in so long.
Oh, here's a loaf of bread. And he reaches out his hand and hands it to you. Says, I'm sure you'll be fine. You're back on your feet.
Well, I only have one.
Just the. Oh God. All right. Take this loaf of bread, and he shoves like 10 gold pieces into your hand. He goes, "This should be enough to secure lodgings for you this evening. We really must be on our way."
You can't take me with you to the governor's mansion?
No, I do not have it in my power.
Do we hear any of this?
I don't think you
Or are
hear
we
any
too
of
far
this.
away?
Yeah, I don't think you hear any of this. She misty stepped. It's like, I've got a plan. I'm not going to tell you about it. Bye. Like, and she disappeared. I would think that you, by this point, you have seen her lay down in the road, give you guys 2 big thumbs up, and then the carriage rolled over her the next second.
Can I justify that I can be communicating, like, I can say, like, a couple times during this conversation, I have used sorcery points, so I'm not pointing. So it's a subtle spell, but I've messaged this information to them.
Okay,
Is that okay or not?
I'm fine with this,
Okay,
but
well,
but this is how the conversation goes. Are you all right?
Right. Yes.
It-
Right. I know.
Pause,
I would
pause,
have had
pause,
to wait.
pause,
No. I
pause.
would have had to wait till they're like going to the governor's mansion,
Yeah.
but they won't take us.
Yeah.
Me.
Who would you send that message to?
I would send it to Edgar because he's got my legs, so he should really convey this stuff.
So great. Governor's mansion, like he's just so like, what the hell did you just do? Like he's relaying everything to him that they're going to the governor's mansion and that she's dumb and let him run over her leg to get information about the governor's mansion.
Tell us.
Yes,
You told us what's going on.
Yes,
Okay.
what's going on?
Why are you going to the governor's mansion?
There's a dinner party this evening. I'm escorting the master of the house.
What's the party for?
I'm not sure. I'm just the driver.
I don't know. I haven't been to a party in so long or talked to people, and it's really nice to talk to a person and hear news.
Ma'am, if I'm being completely honest,
Ow.
I haven't been to a party in so long either. I'm really a driver.
Okay, well,
I will. You look like a fairy, right?
She.
Like, what do you?
Like a tree
I look like something.
Yeah.
person,
Tree
ish.
fling.
Look, I can't keep track.
She looks like a tree fling covered in mud. With 2 tire marks right across the chest.
And one leg.
And 1 leg.
Okay, I will cast Disguise Self to look like the most drab human peasant that could walk out.
This halfling suddenly sees the group. Is anybody else joining him?
I would probably just started running the second I started hit by a car.
Okay, so the halfling looks up and sees a drab human man and a halfling carrying a leg and made of ice, running at a dead sprint in his direction.
Are you okay? I'm talking to you.
I just got run over, but, you know, other than that and the fact that I'm now missing my leg, I guess I'm okay.
I
They're
told
going
you to
a party.
stay out of the road.
I tried.
wants
It's
to
really
slap the
hard
driver.
to do when you only have one leg.
Who do you work for?
He looks back at the coach and he goes, I'm not sure if I have permission to share his name.
You just ran over one of my friends. At least a name.
With that, the rain stops. As the door to the carriage opens, there is an elven man who walks out of the carriage. He is dressed in what looks to be a very, very nice, very well made white suit. He looks somewhat uncomfortable in the suit, and his hair is that of a pale white that almost matches the suit as well. His hand is outstretched towards the sky in a clenched fist. And you see that that as he looks up at the sky with a clenched fist, he pauses for a bit and then releases his fist, and the rain does not start back up.
Well, where were you 20 minutes ago when it was raining cats and dogs out? And your old cast prestidigitation on himself to remove like the mud and grime from his nicer flowing coat.
You are addressing Lord Chiron.
Lord Chiron, it is very kind to meet you, but I will have you know that you've actually hit Lady Winter herself with your cart.
No.
I've hit Lady Winter.
Yes,
quick
that's
question
exactly
for you,
what I
Scribe.
would say.
Yes,
Quick question. Is he allowed to lie?
he is.
Oh, never mind that.
Oh no.
Sir, are you aware that your driver hit our friend?
I felt a large bump in the road. I imagined it was something along those lines.
That was me. I was the bump.
That was her.
Ow.
She's quite injured, you see.
Lord Chiron looks to the sides of the road and sees how large it is, and then looks over at you and says, "It seems like if you were paying attention, it would be somewhat easily avoidable."
Well, that's very rude. I didn't try to get hit.
But through all this
Sir.
wild rain.
It was quite hard to see, and my friend is quite simple.
He looks over at Zoe.
Sir, I try my best. I do. I try my best. Sometimes I get confused.
It's truly my fault. I shouldn't have left her alone.
Very
I merely went into the forest to relieve myself for a moment.
Does this person have any paper on them, like that's or like an invitation of any kind that I might have seen?
The person in the white suit.
Out of the pocket.
Or like the driver or anything like that. May have like an invitation to have to show like a guard as they like come up to the.
He's not wearing it tacked to his shirt. He has multiple pockets. He's wearing a shirt and a vest. If you would like to. Lord Chiron looks at you all and says, well, she looks fine. No harm, no foul.
He's not addressing me as Lady Winter.
You have the audacity. Lord Chiron, as a man of means, I would imagine that you're a man of stature and grace would also address her as Lady Winter, as her name dictates, and needs reverence and respect all the same. So please address her as such.
And what if I shan't?
Well, I suppose you are a reasonable gentleman, and I suppose we could come to a mutual understanding.
A duel, then?
I was not suggesting a duel as much as...
No,
just...
I have insulted your honor. I have insulted the Lady of Winter's honor. Surely we must make reprimands. A duel seems the suitable way to end any sort of conflict here.
Ooh, I don't agree that a duel is as necessary at all.
I thought you might.
Sir, Lord Chiron, and I'll bow.
He'll wave a hand.
We are but traveling performers. You know how they like to watch the simple ones.
Please tell me you are the one who speaks for the performers.
I try my best. But they don't stay in line always.
Edgar is just glaring at you.
Very well.
We apologize for the intrusion. I will try to keep them out of the road, Are you headed to the coronation, sir?
The coronation. We are
Isn't that where everyone's headed?
No. Give me a deception check, clever boy.
Theist.
Okay, well, that's a 10.
We are not headed to the coronation, we are headed to the game.
There's a game? I love games.
And
Would
what
this
sort of
game-
game is there?
It is a game that you need an invite in order to participate. And I'm afraid traveling circus folk are not the sort to be given invites to a game of this caliber.
Is this a game of strength, sir?
In a way.
We might have someone who could turn the games in your favor if you were to enter them.
Is that so? Are you
Yes.
Are you saying that I, myself, could not hold my own in a game of strength?
Oh, I'm sure you could, sir, but someone of your stature surely doesn't like to get his own hands dirty when he could employ others.
I think you would be surprised at how often I get my hands dirty. Which
I'm
of
sure,
the performers here do you believe to be a match for a game of strength?
Oh, he was still in the forest. Sir, strong man.
His name is Sir Strongman.
You've never heard of Sir Strongman.
Talk about being born under a certain star, yes?
Well, you know those of us with stage names.
Ah.
I guess I'm going to come out.
I will be back momentarily, guys. I apologize.
Yeah. Otto, you step out of the woods, and Lord Chiron looks at you and then turns back to you, Mandrake, and says, "Is this some sort of joke?"
Not at all, sir. That's what makes it so impressive.
Oh, he's very strong.
I'm sure. Yes. One must be strong to protect the Lady of Winter.
Yes.
Until you see what he is capable of, I wouldn't second guess him. He is quite strong after all. He may be small, but he is quite worthy.
He will bend down. Hello, little man. The individuals here have informed us that you are a strong man. Is that true?
I was just gonna nod.
Ah.
It's not gonna say anything. It's just gonna try his best not to look confused and nod.
Well, I would feel that it must be, in terms of, in a situation such as this, a demonstration, if you would. You are... so confused. All right then. This one, and he points over at Edgar. Strongman, I would like you to lift him above your head and throw him as far as you can.
Hollow doesn't even. He just
Edgar, do you lean into this? Do you? Yes. All right. Arlo, give me.
I want a dirty dancing moment,
Yeah. Arlo, give me a. Oh God. Give me athletics.
A hobbit throwing challenge.
This is exactly how you thought this was going to go, isn't it?
No, never in 1,000 years.
And your will.
That's a 27.
A 27. What?
The Righteous Brothers.
Arlo picks up Edgar and does one of these. Like, it's a back motion and then a forward motion. As Edgar flies 9 feet through the air, coming to a halt in the mud, leaving a small track and a divot in the ground as you carve through and create a small path of mud. There is a slight raise of the eyebrow from Lord Chiron, and he politely claps his hands a little bit and looks down at you with a certain degree of respect and appraisal. And he goes, "Well done. All right then. I suppose you could be useful in a situation such as this. How much for your services, little one?"
That depends what you're asking for.
I merely ask for a degree of strength such as you've demonstrated here. You will represent me in the game.
And what game is that?
It's a game of some of the nobles play. I'm not sure if I'll even get to participate this year. If you have moralistic qualms about it and not knowing what you're about to walk into, we can end our partnership here.
Oh, morals have never been my problem. I'm trying to gauge exactly how much you've got to offer, gold-wise.
I feel that he kind of looks over at the group and he goes, Barty, and the halfling goes over and into the carriage, hopping in, dusting his feet off, and reaches, pedals around a little bit inside of the cart and comes out carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual sacks of gold, and or sacks with him. And as you open them up, you see what looks to be 20 platinum each inside the sacks. That he goes, this should be enough for your circus to perform for a year's time.
Alright. Seems fine.
Very well. As you can see, the carriage is not big enough to accommodate all of you, and I imagine all of you will not be letting him go by himself. So,
I'll walk except for, the one you ran over. I suspect you'd like to let her ride with you.
Yes. Yes, I would like that very much.
I can clean up. Unprestidigitation.
Okay.
But not perfect, like a little bit of a sloppy job.
Sloppy prestidigitation? Like
Yeah.
the cubes don't match up of the 5?
Well,
Yeah,
just like leave myself like I'm not revealing that I'm actually like
Sure.
any better at magic than I have to.
He nods his head and gestures for the cart. He gestures toward the cart in your direction. Edgar, are you still holding on to the leg?
Yes.
Okay.
I would imagine I would probably be like, oh god. Like,
okay.
If there's room in the by the driver, I would probably say that's where Edgar would be going.
Okay. So you just hop up without asking? You just like, man, that was fun. You just hop and sit next to him?
Did you see that throw? That was great. This is my spot? Okay.
Persuasion, Edgar.
Ooh. That may not go very well. Okay, that is going to be a persuasion.
Yes.
Ooh, yay, 11.
He looks at you.
He is but simple.
And as you climb aboard, he scoots towards the middle of the bench. Goes, I believe you were asked to walk behind the car.
Do you not know who I am, boy?
No, I don't.
I'm not a man who walks behind a cart.
Today you are.
Well.
I am indeed that man who walks behind the car.
Persuasion? Like
You-
I
no,
meant to sit here.
You made your
No, true.
your check.
Fine, then I shall. Well, then I walk. My legs could use the exercise. I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure they could, sir. Okay.
Bastard.
So, for those of you catching in to the conversation that's happening, Thoe climbs inside the cart with Lord Chiron, and the cart begins to move forward, albeit slower than before, as Arlo, Nyx, Mandrake, Trovic, and Edgar walk behind it, staying close to it. Okay.
Of course.
Okay, we're gonna do this. You continue to travel forward. Do you guys talk about anything behind the wagon?
I'm gonna ask for an explanation of what the hell just happened.
I'm also very curious since I wasn't there for any of it.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Edgar's gonna hold up the leg. And it seems as though that you are being tested for a feat of strength.
Just 1 foot.
A foot of strength. He's gonna shake it so the ankle goes like this.
Are you all right, Edgar?
I have never been better. At all. I am fantastic at it.
There was a moment there where the rain seemed to get a little cold, as did you.
Yes. As one does in the cold.
No, colder. Like her kind of cold.
As one gets when it gets colder. Mandrake. I mean, heavens. It's like you don't know how weather works.
Fine. For now.
And then you're just gonna like flip the foot again, like, let's go, keep up, hip hip.
Not to interrupt, but what's the point of this game? Why are we doing it? How does it benefit us?
Golden money and feats of strength.
If it is going to give us access to a bunch of nobles, I suspect we are going to be able to find out most information that we need.
If we are going to be surrounded by nobles, perhaps Nick should disguise himself.
Yeah,
I would
that would be great.
Do you have a way to do that?
I'm a bit tired right now, so it wouldn't necessarily be something I can do at the moment.
I might have an alternative, and I will reach into my bag and pull out some of the living clay, because I took it all off last week.
You did.
Maybe enough for your face.
It's right there.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna rest before whatever these games are.
Sure.
It takes an hour to set. They can do it while he's walking at it.
He could.
Could I?
You could. I'm gonna do that because ain't no way you're gonna be resting while you're walking.
Okay, I guess I'm putting this on my face.
Cool.
Sure.
War paint.
Is this considered a short rest for people who are sitting in the carriage?
So.
Not if I got your foot.
You do not need your foot for a short rest.
I checked the player's handbook and it does not specify you need a foot to take a short rest.
Technically, it's as if her foot is up, so she's chill. Yes, you can mark down a short rest, Zoe. Thank you, Maldev. That's very sweet.
Aww.
We love you. I'll let you give a +5 to somebody for 1,000 bits. That's very sweet.
Oh, but would the short rest entail rolling hit die? Because normally I can do that on a short rest.
If you would like to do that, you can.
Because that would probably help, because I'm feeling really, really cruddy right now.
Sure, if you'd like to do that. Go ahead and roll as many
Right.
hit die as you would like. as you all continue to move into the town proper. The carriage, it takes a few hours to travel. There's questions as to whether why you are doing this, why you are headed in this direction. But sure enough, after a bit of time, you find yourselves in front of a very large palatial estate as you enter into the town proper. This estate is very large, and if you saw a picture in our Discord today, you saw a small picture of what it looks like. It's tucked away in the forest a tiny bit. Oh, I never posted that. No, it was in the advertisement for today's episode. So if you watched, if you paid attention to social media and things of that sort, you would have seen a picture of this building tucked away. But sure enough, as you make your way closer and closer to this building, you see it is tucked away off in the forest, and all of the carriages that you've seen pass along the road are in a small clumped area. Thank you, Meowdeth. That's very sweet. And so you push forward, and Thoe, as you are resting, in I would imagine you kind
Rolled
of
a lot of ones on that. It was not as helpful as I thought it would be.
okay. They kind of doze off for a tiny bit as the coach makes its way forward. There are quite a few guards at the ready. You would recognize the uniform as some of these individuals are wearing eye patches and bear a striking resemblance to the individuals that you encountered once before. As you make your way forward into this area, Alo and Trovik, the two of you feel pulls on your coat. Alo, as your father starts looking at the mansion with a bit of hesitation.
Are you all right?
I didn't want to bring this up at the time, but I am not one for fancy parties. I'm quite terrible at social graces and interaction, and it is something best left to my wife. So, with your permission, I would much rather stay outside for this and allow you all to go forth on your own.
Are you going to be all right?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you like some company?
Yes, but yes, that would be lovely if you would like to stay. But I'm sure I could make it so that I spend a little bit of time with the drivers. I could go around and sketch a tiny bit. So we did just lose Mandrake. So what I'm going to do...
He's switching to his PC.
Yes, I saw your message. What we're going to do, gang, is we're going to do a... Oh, he's right there. Let's go do a quick intermission while we get this situated, and then we will pick up as you guys enter into this posh party that is in a way that I did not imagine you getting there. So we'll see you guys in just a minute.
All right.
And we're back. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as we got a couple of technical difficulties situated. So yes, as corny dad sits there and sort of hems and haws about whether to come inside with you to the party or not. Eugene sort of nervously looks around the space a bit.
Humphrey, stay with father. New company.
As soon as you say Humphrey, father visibly relaxes and goes, I'll do some slight modifications. Nothing too drastic, but just some improvements that I've been thinking about making.
Oliver takes a step away from Petrovic. Just like,
I'd like to see your notes afterward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Are we fine with it with Humphrey staying a dog?
Why?
No reason. Enjoy the party.
Insight check on the old man.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
I was just like,
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
You see a notebook that you've never seen before come out of Eugene's back pocket, and you swear you see the words Humphrey 2.0 scrawled in his chicken scratch, as if he's been preparing to he's been having ideas and wants to tinker a bit.
Like little smirk on Tropic's face, he just goes,
Yes, absolutely. Nothing major until I get your explicit permission.
thank you.
Yes. But subtle changes, small changes will be fine.
I trust you on that one, father.
Good, as you have a right to do. And he takes Humphrey aside, and as Humphrey's walking, Humphrey kind of gives you one more look over his shoulder. If a dog could express a worried look, as father takes a measuring tape and starts measuring around Humphrey's ears. You all head in through the front doors.
Why must you hurt my robo-dog like this?
No, I would never do anything to your robo-dog. As you...
I would like to go back to our walk for a minute. Can we maybe come up with a persona for you? Yeah, if we're suddenly walking in with a minotaur.
I'm your gopher, dude. If you're the spokesperson, I have like the rest of the equipment for
stagehand. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Stagehand.
He's tech.
Yeah, I got
it. So Trovic is the gopher, Olo is the strongman, Mandrake is the voice.
Sure, my face is Uncanny Valley because I couldn't see myself.
I would imagine we'd have helped a bit while you were having that go on.
What celebrity does Nyx look like as you walk into this?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
Ryan Reynolds.
Great.
Like Deadpool Ryan Reynolds or like regular Ryan Reynolds?
That's up to Nyx.
Yeah. Let's go with regular.
Okay.
Like Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds. Got it.
Okay.
Great.
So we like him, but we're really ashamed. Got it.
Though you are awakened as a sharp metal object pokes against your leg a bit, and you see Lord Chiron poking you with what looks to be a walking cane of some sort. I'm sorry, I didn't want to touch you.
Why not?
Because you're dirty.
I'm cleaner.
I understand that, but you're still somewhat dirty, and I just...
You ran over me with your cart. You think you
I
could
thought
at least...
we were past that, now that you have been offered...
That's a big thing to get past.
If you're going to harp on this, I would prefer you not to enter into the party.
Wow, okay, then I'll let it go for now.
Very well. I believe
it was a big thing, it really hurt.
Deception check.
Thought you were letting it go for now.
15?
15? I guess it did really hurt. That's fine. He goes, I thought we were letting it go.
Okay, sorry.
Your friends are outside of the cart?
Yes. I'll just hobble out. I hobble I hobble, like I make a bit of a show of hobbling out of the cart.
As you make a big show of grabbing onto the cart and hobbling out and hopping out, you hear a small call from behind you. Perhaps you should use your wings.
You're assuming that they work? That the
Can I
cart
proceed
didn't
to
damage
slap
them?
Edgar over the head and tell him to keep bringing the leg over.
Edgar's like
Can I
running
please
over.
do this?
Yep.
In
All
like
right.
the biggest fashion.
Edgar, in the weirdest production of Cinderella, gets on his knees and
Lady went.
holds out the ice leg for you.
You found it! Where did you find my leg?
It was a mud. It was much of the debris in the mud of the earth, but I have found it for you, lady.
Thank you, kind sir.
Twas my pleasure. Twas my pleasure. I assure. And he's gonna hold it up and just try to.
I'm gonna hold my stump out so he can put it on a la Cinderella.
There is a cold freezing as the leg affixes itself, and you hear this.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I try not
Wait.
to laugh. Oh no.
Wait.
Who?
The little one.
We'll talk.
You all, Lord Chiron comes out and you see he's immaculate in his suit and very quickly heads over. All sign of any sort of passing storm that was here at the governor's mansion before you all arrived in the town is gone at this point. You're not sure how the ground is firm beneath your feet, almost as if the house itself was untouched. You are greeted to the sights of many a posh individual in various forms of fancy dress and all of the accoutrement associated with high wealth. If any of you rolled in those circles, you would have seen them. But however, I think the only one that comes close might be Nyx. As suddenly your days of being an attendant of the court and being forced to go to these formal functions that were very boring as a child growing up come flooding back to you. As you make your way inside, Lord Chiron flashing the invitation and walking forward and not giving a passing glance to the guards to confirm the invitation and just sort of ushering you all forward. Alo, his hand is wrapped around your shoulder as if to bring you front and center as he walks throughout the space. He gives polite nods to people and individuals. What are all of you doing as you come into this dinner party as guest of Lord Chiron?
Edgar would have walked over to Thoe and cast Prestidigitation and made sure that she looked to the nines as much as possible.
You could clean the dirt. You could clean the mud and stuff like that, hit the spots that she didn't catch.
Exactly.
Thoe is somewhat exotic looking to begin with. There has never been a creature, nor is there a creature that wanders around that is quite like her.
But when he does that, can I cast Disguise Self but not change how I look, but give myself like a full-on Elsa dress? Like I wouldn't know Elsa dress honestly, but that's the picture of her.
Yeah.
If she's gonna call me Lady Winter, I'm gonna play up this like this is who I think I am, even though it's not who I am. You know what I mean?
Trove, do you say that out loud?
Like as I'm seeing her start to cast, I can lean over and go, I can actually make that happen.
You can actually make that happen. What?
I can make that happen if you want. I can upgrade your. It'd take a moment.
No, I don't want to look like I'm too good at magic.
Fine. Never get to have any fun. Felix,
Maybe later.
over to the corner.
Sulking. Trevor's like, I miss my dog.
This is what I do. I build and I make stuff, and you won't let me make.
We'll save it.
Oh my god, this has got to be a walking hell for Trovik. He's around all of these like illusory casters, like all of these people that. I can actually make this item for you. No, we're fine, thank you. I'd rather pretend.
I have a spell to literally fabricate things, guys. Let me use it.
As you've let us this way before, so I'm gonna ask.
Who? What are you doing, Mandrake?
So you've let me use this spell this way before, so I'm gonna ask if I can do it again.
Okay.
It was. I'm sorry. I'm a little cough. Anyway, you've let me use Fog Cloud when Edwin and Zoe were courting as like a low rolling fog like entrance.
All right.
Bad for Lord Chiron as he comes in, because he deserves all the splendor.
As
pomp and circumstance.
Sure. As you enter into the space, you do a small fog cloud.
I'll pull off my hat, which doesn't look like my hat. It looks like a Newsies hat, basically.
Yeah.
I'll pull it off and sweep it, and fog will pour out in front of Lord Chiron.
All right. As this happens and Thoe changes into Elsa from Frozen in the middle of
the dress.
just
I still look all planty.
Yeah, in the middle of the space. Lord Chiron will actually come in and his eyes will dart to the ground very quickly, and then his hand will outstretch and twirl the fog upward. Bringing the fog off of the ground and floating above everyone's heads, and form almost a procession of fog that floats over the entirety of this small party and travels with them, taking the fog from the ground up and putting it over everyone's head.
Ooh.
Okay.
I bow to your expertise, sir.
As you should. Nix and Alo, what are you doing?
I am apparently being led.
Yeah.
Unless he has like removed his hand from my shoulder to be like,
No.
this is my champion.
No, this is his
Otherwise,
hand
I'm
is,
just like, well,
here we are.
here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I am.
I'm just gonna be following from behind just to see what's going on because I still don't know what this whole thing is.
Sure.
Like the games.
Yes. Nix, give me a history check, please.
All right, that's gonna be good. 26.
You are confident, with a 26, more confident than you've ever been, that the games were not in effect while you were here.
Great.
Like the games are brand new, whatever the game is. However, as you make your way into the main ballroom, there are various individuals that are having drinks. Lord Chiron will tap you on the shoulder and say, stay close, please, so that I can summon you when it is our turn to begin. Stay within the ballroom proper. Do you
You
understand?
saying that to me or?
No, he's saying this to Arlo. He
Okay.
goes, I must mingle as is befitting my status, but please stay within the ballroom proper.
Alo nods and just like walks over to Trophic and just sits in the corner with Trophic like.
He scans the group. Trovik, he'll actually approach you. What is your job, bull person?
Yes. Trovik, at your service, sir. I'm sort of a gopher.
Perfect.
Odd jobs.
You
kind of
have
thing.
the look of a gopher. There are.
I touched the horn subconsciously. I thought I looked like a bull.
There are individuals walking about in the space. you will see these individuals wearing a red carnation. They have a basket of daggers. Each of the daggers has a suit on it, a playing card suit, and either a number. Please go up to one of these individuals and get one of the knives from the basket. Please let them know that you are representing Lord Chiron.
Are you looking for a preferred suit or number, Lord Chiron?
No. But make it known that you are representing me.
As you wish, sir. Straighten myself up a little bit and make my way to find this red carnation individual.
There are children, looks to be 10, 12 years old, that are wandering about the space. They each have very large baskets, and inside are these ornate daggers. They have different, some are painted black, some are painted red, but you see, sure enough, that each dagger seems to correspond with a card. And now that you are headed forward, Trovik, you would notice that some of the other nobles and servants of the area have already gathered their dagger.
As a cursory glance, can I take a look at any of the suit values on any of these daggers?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Okay. I think I'll take the investigation, Alex. That's going to be a 26.
26. Yeah, you would see that at the bottom of the basket with the 26, there are various other numbers and suits and stuff like that. But wrapped in a small cloth, it looks to be the Ace of Spades. And as other individuals come forward and are seemingly handed daggers at random, the Ace of Spades is not touched.
I see. All right. I will approach this child who is handing out implements of destruction. I'm going to kneel down so that I'm closer to their level. Good evening. I am representing Lord Chiron and aim to acquire the dagger.
Oh, very well, sir. Lord Chiron, you said?
Indeed, Lord Chiron.
He will instinctively reach at the bottom of the basket, looking to seemingly grab one at random, but instead grab the Ace of Spades wrapped in the small cloth and undo the cloth fairly quickly, take the Ace of Spades and hand it to you. Good luck, sir. I hope you win.
Thank you. As do I. And I will stand and, I will make my way back over to Lord Chiron.
Sure. Lord Chiron seems to be engrossed in conversations, so you all can help yourselves to food and bits of wine. There are all sorts of nobles that seem to be engaged in conversation, each of them representing parts of Wonderland and parts unknown, as you see individuals of different species, different flags, family crest that you do not recognize in your time here in Wonderland. Yes, Mandrake.
I would lean in to Lord Chiron at some point, and say, "My lord, it has been a long journey for us."
As soon as you say, "My lord," he will backhand you immediately, smacking your face as hard as he can. He will do no damage because strength is not his strong suit. But it stings across your face for a second, and you see the group of individuals that he is speaking to as he looks down at you and says, "Can you not see that I am in conversation? If you mean to address me, you will wait your turn. Do you understand?"
I will bow low and say, "I understand, sir. I just thought you might want your champion well rested."
And you see the other individuals start whispering the words of champion, and he goes, "Ah, yes. Well, of course. That was my idea. I just haven't had time to communicate it."
May we rest somewhere before the games?
What do you mean, rest somewhere? Are there not couches? Is there not food?
I wasn't sure you wanted your champion lousing about among the royals. I thought you might want us to be somewhere else.
The more suggestions you make, the more I want to slap you in the face again. If you
And I would truly deserve it, sir.
If you mean to rest, rest. But do not go far. Do you understand, gutter trash?
Understood, sir.
He turns back and he goes, this is the problem with Wonderland in general, and this is why we belong here. You never know what sort of ruffians you'll find wandering about the roads, and he just continues his conversation with the other individuals in his small circle.
How do I look? Like, do I look like I belong
Ryan
socializing,
Reynolds.
or do I? Okay, so I could socialize and it wouldn't throw anyone.
What clothes? As far as I know, you're not wearing any sort of unless you talk to Trovic, who could probably.
I mean, I'm probably wearing just my normal clothes. So I wouldn't look like I'm part of that.
You look like Ryan Reynolds wearing baggy clothes, like you just shot the Goodwill.
All right. I'll stay on the outskirts and just hope I catch any gossip on what's going on in Overland. But I won't join in any conversations because I.
All right. Anybody else that's trying to glean information during this time? Mandrake, I'm going to say you're headed off to talk to Otto.
I was going to go to a nearby table. I assume these tables have, like, centerpieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take my shell phone out.
Okay.
And I'm going to place it in the centerpiece so that we can hear what's going on in the room.
You're basically taking your phone out and doing this. Okay, I have forgiven many a thing with these shell phones. I have bent over backwards. You putting this shell phone on speaker shell and leaving it, you need someone to activate the sending of the shell phone.
Okay. I was just going to leave it there so that we could go outside to rest and hear when Lord Chiron called us.
If you had an artificer that might have time to tinker with it, and you approach that artificer, this I could understand. But you...
Okay, so I'm going to take this shell phone over to Trovic.
Okay.
Trovic.
Yes.
Is there a way that you could make this into a two-way sending device, much like the sending stone, but like always on, a way for us to hear what's going on in the room?
You mean for me to transform a magical device into an eavesdropping tool?
It's what I said. Yes.
Give it here.
Trovic, you find a small corner. I'm gonna need. Ooh, Pally. You are modifying a pre-existing magical device which you have had no previous contact with. Give me an Arcana check. Is there anything that anybody here wants to do to assist Trovic?
I would join him to try to help.
Okay. Is there?
I don't know how I can help.
Is there anything that anybody else would like to do? Would anybody like to, I don't know, inspire him with a poem or a...
That sounds just absolutely wonderful.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
I didn't even know that's how it worked. That sounds great. Yes. Edgar is going to over to Trovic, and the shell device is what it is. The carrying message of demise or sudden spies. So give us an inside look to their guys.
You feel somewhat inspired by the haunting words of Edgar as they help center your mind.
Am I over there? 'Cause we all came in together, right?
Sure, I would say you guys are all gathered into the spot as Trovic is like trying to make a magical item different from what it normally does.
I'll let him know that if there's anything that he needs to add to this piece that he doesn't have, I can create things out of nothing, like out of, like he's seen me do this before, like actually he may not have. Wisp of shadow material from Shadowfell, non-living object, vegetable matter. So basically I can create something, vegetable matter that'll last for 1 day, stone or crystal, it'll last for 12 hours, precious metals 1 hour, gems 10 minutes, or mithril like 1 minute. But like any piece that you need, it's not gonna last forever.
This is
But-
this is amazing to me as Thoe begins to describe the spell fabricate to Trovik. Like I can make, but just gets.
But she would know that he can. Yeah.
No. But I think it's
she's like,
very
I can
sweet.
help.
Like
I can help. I can make something if you need something like a crystal or a piece of metal or I don't know. I mean, it won't last forever, but I can make it. You just if you need something.
What I'm going to require is a single piece of topaz with these exact dimensions.
I can do that, but it'll only last 10 minutes.
Will be fine.
Because topaz would
15
be
millimeter.
considered a gem, not a crystal, right? Okay. Yes. Here.
I'm just gonna put that in my bag.
It's totally gonna disappear in 10 minutes. Oh, I forgot to roll my.
I'm gonna need that guy's leg and that bit of topaz. Okay. What inspiration do you give out now, Edgar?
What's your inspiration die, buddy?
It's a D10.
All right. So
Okay.
Trovik, this is going to be an Arcana check with a D10.
Can I help him with Arcana at least?
If
Because
you-
I do have
I can help with
proficiency. I've got a
Arcana.
+6.
Mandrake said he
Oh,
would
okay,
assist
Mandrake, cool.
too.
Then do-
So
you
you're
do
making
that.
the topaz.
Yeah, I'm
as-
the super helpful, useful. Wow.
You're helping.
So Trovik, take this check at advantage.
That worked. Take the second one. Go ahead and burn the inspiration. Nice. Okay. So that is a 13 on the die, plus 9 from inspiration, plus 10 from Arcana, plus expertise, which would actually make that a 15 since I'm using my Artificer's tools.
Okay.
Being 28, 37 on the dice. 37 all in all.
37 all in all. The DC was 35. As you take this magical item and you basically rewrite the universe around it, figuring out what sort of spells are applicable to you, and taking a napkin ring, a few toothpicks from a walking hors d'oeuvres tray, and a small bit of gelato are able to change this magical item into that of a collective speaker shell. Whose shell phone was it?
Mandrake.
So-
It was mine.
Okay, Mandrake, take that off your inventory. It is gone.
Yep, it's gone.
But you now have a listening device, a bug that goes on and will connect to a pre-existing shell phone. So someone will have to listen in. But while this device is here in the spot that it's in the centerpiece,
Oh no. I
What?
don't have one anymore. It disintegrated. Everything I had disintegrated in the tree.
I have yours.
Olo has one.
Yeah.
All has one. Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah, I
okay,
have yours.
good.
okay.
I may have one, depending.
So I'll hand it back to Patrick. This should suffice.
Thank you, Trovik.
It was a pleasure.
I thought perhaps a few of us could use a rest. And that way if Lord Chiron were to call us to begin whatever this is, we would hear.
I could certainly go for a rest.
Someone should get Nyx. I'll get Olo.
Where's Nick?
Well, if you look directly behind you and about 5 degrees to your right.
Nyx, as you were listening in on conversations, give me a perception check, please.
Please let this be good.
As you are wandering about the space, trying to figure out.
The 3 on the die, so that's going to be a 4.
You pick up random snippets of conversation, but nothing concrete. As you wander about the space, you're like, man, if this was a book, I'd be better at it. But you're just like not like it's tough. As you wander about the space and you hear little snippets and things of that sort. I would say, oh, Thoe, you got another one. Everybody loves
Burning
you.
through 'em
Burning
tonight.
through 'em. All right, the group is gathered, though. How are you doing this? Are you heading outside? Are you...
I would say on our way out, I would sleight of hand the listening device into one of the centerpieces on one of the tables in Chiron.
Okay.
Or maybe more near the center of the room, so it can hear whatever's going on nearby. So if Lord Chiron was calling for us.
Sure. Who is listening in? So who has their ear to the button?
On our way out, I would get Alo's the shell phone that he has, because even if I take a rest, I have sentry mode, so I can hear what's going on.
All right. I'm about this. Okay. You are headed into a darkened room to take a short rest.
That would be the plan. As much of a rest as we can get in before this.
You will not be able to get 8 hours of sleep while the party is going. That is not how life works. But I like where your head is at.
Just doing what I can.
You were doing great. So go ahead and everybody mark down a short rest. Roll hit dice if you would like. As Mandrake, you hear the party going on. After a bit of time, you would hear a booming voice that echoes throughout the dining room, and it is a very it's almost recognizable to you. As you hear, I am just so beyond excited that everyone would be coming here to this wonderful event here at the Governor's Mansion, joining us in for a game, a night of festivity. This game is something brand new, as brought to us by our new Lord DeVoe, who we are just beyond thrilled that he would be introducing this. Now, this game is not for everyone, so I am going to ask the servants that have been passing out those beautiful daggers to everyone to please go ahead and exit the room. Yes, Mandrake.
This voice, is this a feline voice or an elven voice?
It is a feline voice.
You
I'm gonna go ahead and pass the Ace of Spades dagger over to Porto because he is the champion.
Yeah. All right, we have our deck of cards before us. Governor, are you ready to play your game? Let's see here. Oh. Oh my! Well, of course we all know that the raffle was going to happen, and I'm receiving word from the governor, who's remaining the strong, silent type as usual. But it looks like our first participant in this game is anyone holding the Ace of Spades card. Who here has the dagger belonging to the Ace of Spades? And you all can mark down your short rest. If you rolled hit die, you are set. But you in a different bedroom would relay this information, Mandrake. The fact that you...
I would wake anyone who's asleep up, and we would move back into the room together as a group.
Okay. Lord Chiron is on the stage. It looks to be a small stage, and there's a draped sheet over a large object in the middle of the stage. And you see Lord Chiron standing up on the stage and scanning the crowd, and as you all walk in, he pointedly gazes at you, Alo, and as if to say, "Come forward, please."
Yep, I do.
Standing next to him is a tabaxi with bright orange fur, wearing the fanciest of tuxedos, with a long tail that comes out behind the two tails of the tuxedo. And on the stage is the largest gentleman you've ever seen. Looks like he was wheeled out in a chair, but the chair has wheels, and he's almost 600 pounds easy. You see the skin pressing against the shirt that is barely containing in the folds of his belly. But he is not making any sort of sound, and you see the 4 or 5 chins sort of overlapping, and he's on what looks to be a moving purple lounge chair. And as Lord Chiron sort of comes forward, you see a look of disappointment at the rest of the partygoers as they've all gathered closer to the stage.
Just gonna make my way onto the stage and stand next to Chiron.
Chiron will take the dagger from your hand and hold it up to the crowd, and the Tabaxi will examine it. You know what? He's the winner! Congratulations, Lord Chiron, you won the raffle. What a glorious day for you. So you have the honor of being the first one to start the game off correctly. And he will gesture to the ground in front of the stage, almost as if he's motioning for you to get off of the stage now and go stand on the floor.
I do.
Okay. Now, some of you, this is your first game, and some of you have played this game before. We all know how important it is to maintain balance, to maintain control. And with the addition, the triumphant return of our king, once thought lost, now returned with a mighty fury, he has impressed upon us the importance of ruling with an iron fist, so much so that he took his own sister and threw her in the dungeon where she rots. Now, there was a degree of mercy at his hand, but with that mercy, there must always come the opposite. For every ounce of mercy displayed, there must be a bit of ruthlessness. For every ounce of hope that you extend to the, well, let's say, poorer subjects of the land, you must crush that hope so that they do not become too comfortable. Hence the game. A never-ending game of, what, chess? The chess of the human spirit. Bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop, the queen marches forward, and so on, and so on. Lord Chiron, congratulations. You are the true winner. Do you have your champion? And Lord Chiron points over to Alo, and you see the crowd sort of waiting for you to acknowledge.
I do.
Champion, what is your name?
You may call me Apollo.
Apollo! That's a lovely name. Apollo, are you ready to compete in the game, to strike down a traitor of the highest regard?
I just nod.
The sheet.
I nod like I'm a little annoyed. Just like.
The sheet is pulled back to reveal your mother. Bound.
Yep.
Bloodied. Sword still at her side, still wearing the armor set forth before her. The ropes are quickly cut behind her, and she hits her knees. With that, the tabaxi kicks her backside, causing her to falter a bit and fall off of the stage. One of her eyes is swollen shut, as if she has had been in numerous fights. But as she hits the ground and takes her sword from its sheath. Her other eye focuses upon you, holding the dagger in your hand, and she falters. Well, this is truly a momentous occasion. The game has been won by Lord Chiron, one loyal to the crown and the subjects found therein, and he has chosen his champion. This used to be the captain of the King's Guard. Come to find out that this captain of the guard was leading a local rebellion against the long-standing family that rightfully rules our lands. So Apollo, your dagger is in hand. Start the festivities. As every...
The dagger at Chiron.
All right.
Yep.
Give me an attack roll.
That's a 29.
Okay. 29 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. D4 on that. I'm going to make the con save for the poison on the dagger. That is a 2.
That's 12.
12 points of damage. As Apollo, in a move, takes the dagger, looks at his mother before him, throws the dagger through the air, and it strikes into the side of Lord Chiron, who looks down in a moment of shock as all of the royals in the building have their daggers up to participate in the game. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode. You will not have a long rest at your disposal, so whatever spells that you have at your abilities, whatever hit points you manage from your short rest, you will be utilizing them. We'll have everybody roll initiative right now, and I'll keep track of it, and this will how next week's episode will kick off.
Oh no.
22.
22.
No. 19.
22 for Arlo.
17.
Hang on. Can I borrow your...
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah, here, you can put it here.
Okay. I'm going to say Arlo with a 22. Who's got 20 to 25?
21.
Okay.
23.
Okay. Edgar, Arlo, Nyx. 20 to 15.
17.
19.
Trovic. Mandrake.
My initiative rolls have gone great lately, you guys.
Same. I guess
4.
for today.
4 for Thoe.
Wow.
Not quite as good as Thoe.
I rolled a 2.
I need to make 2 more rolls. Who got the 19?
Yo.
Roll off, buddy.
17.
Same. Roll off again.
16.
17 again.
Alright.
Inspiration on his initiative.
Nope.
So Mom goes first. And who got my 22? Anybody get 22?
Olo.
I did, yeah.
Olo, roll off.
Don't like that.
Why are you making the brothers have to roll on?
14.
14. Got it. Lord Chiron is going to go...
Great. Okay, so there's a lot happening.
We are going to kick things off proper next week. I know you guys are beaten and battered and a little bloody, but we got to do this right. The choice
Feeling good. Let's rate it.
choice was made. We got to ride or die, and somebody might next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are going to go raid another channel. We're going to share the love a little bit. But we love you guys. Indigo Connect. And hey, do you wonder? We'll see you guys very, very soon. And